Hi, Taurus. Welcome to WillowOAK. I am here to do your reading for the week from the 11th through the 17th. Please only take what resonates with you and leave the rest behind, okay? You might check your other placements for a more complete picture, or if this doesn't resonate with you. This is a wonderful card. You have round and round. And what that says is you have stepped outside of the cycle and you're able to see it more like from a bird's eye point of view. You get a much broader picture. So this is absolutely awesome. Yeah. It's one of my favorite energies to get. Okay. And since this is energy, I have it set for a week, but it can extend out longer if it wants to. And if you change your energy, this can change as well. Okay, you have the mouse spirit, which says tend to the small things, which means this is not the time, approximately, the week, to make big decisions. You want to try to make those at another time, if possible. This means it's time to tend to the small things like it says, relax, take a vacation, and save the big decisions for another time. Okay. Here we have your sacral chakra. Okay. The sacral chakra is I want. It's got to do with emotions, desires, creativity, and sexuality. So it looks like during this time, emotions, desires, creativity, and sexuality can either be doing very, very well, or you need to balance them. We can take a card for that and find out. Okay? Now let's see what your overall energy is. Beautiful. You have the Emperor. The Emperor is an extremely powerful card. Logic and organization will increase your success. Take charge of the situation. Accept a leadership role, structure, and discipline. So any or all the above. And something I'm finding interesting is that you have the Emperor and you also have the Mouse Spirit. To me, they would be just about opposite. Okay? So maybe this does need balancing. But let's get some cards and see what we can find out. Yeah, having the Emperor as your overall energy is really, I think, pretty awesome. Very powerful, very strong, and in charge and in control. I was giggling because I was thinking, well, since you had this energy, maybe that's why you just sit back and enjoy the power. Okay, your first card is the Knight of Cups. It's beautiful energy. The Knight of Cups is a very slow-moving card, and it's all about the love. It's like wearing your heart on your sleeve. It's filled with positivity, love, potential for romance. It is a wonderful energy and very, very positive. Okay? Let's get a few more cards. Well, this card wants to come out. The Star. This card slid off the top, so we're not going to take it, but we'll take the one that wanted to come out. The Star is another wonderful energy. This is saying it's a powerful time for you to take action by being your authentic self. Okay? And if you do that, you will share in the gifts and blessings from the universe. So you have a couple of really powerful cards. They also say that getting this card is a good omen. And if fame is something that you want, this is the card for that. Okay, the card that slid off the top when I took this card, I just didn't have it under my thumb, was this card. Okay, so I guess it really was meant to come out. The Nine of Wands. This is saying that you are being protective, potentially defensive about something to the point that you're standing guard. Okay, and here you have the Four of Wands. It's time to celebrate. This is a beautiful card. It's 11:11. Okay, so that's a beautiful energy. And maybe the Nine of Wands, being very protective over something, relates back to the Emperor. Because you know the Emperor is in control of everything. That's why he's the Emperor, right? And let's see what we get. The King of Wands. Very nice. The King of Wands is ambitious, enthusiastic, extremely charismatic. People will follow him because he is so charismatic. And he's very passionate. You have the Chariot. This means you have a goal and you are going to reach that goal. You're extremely determined. This is a strong energy. Okay. Well, you had two kind of fly out there. The Two of Wands, which says, you know, I can see how it would be akin to the Chariot. You're holding the world in your hands. You know where you want to go. Now you're strategizing on how to get there. And it's possible that you'll be leaving something behind. And you have the Hangman. And the Hangman talks about you putting yourself in isolation for a moment because you have questions and you're seeking enlightenment, answers to those questions. Okay? So it might be that you go through this and you come up with this, which leads you to the Chariot. And at the bottom of the deck, you have a decision that you have to make. The Two of Swords. Okay? So let's get a few clarifying cards. We're going to take one for the sacral chakra. See how that is doing. Okay, beautiful. You have the Emperor twice. So I'd say your sacral chakra is like on point. Yeah, doing great. Now this is involved with the emotional side of things. And here it says use logic. Okay? So I find that kind of interesting. This is one in control of emotions. This could be saying that you might need to get these in balance for a time. Not that they're out of balance very much, but that you maybe it's just that you need to, you know, check in on them and make sure that things are going well. Because this Emperor energy talks about using logic and organization, right? which is more using your mind instead of your emotions. And this is more about the emotions, right? And at this time, you are in your Emperor energy. So it might be saying, yeah, check in on it and make for sure it's all good. And if it's not, get it aligned. Because here, you're going to need to use some logic. But now, we're going to take a card for the Mouse Spirit because you have the Emperor twice, right? Very strong, extremely strong. And here you have this adorable little mouse. The two, to me, are just about opposites. Let's see. Okay. Me, oh my. Okay, this is a card of nostalgia. And what that is talking about is thinking back on times in your youth, childhood, maybe a few years ago, and that brings back warm, wonderful memories. Just beautiful. I love this card. And I also think it's a very caring, sharing card where there's a lot of compassion. This little boy's giving this little girl a cup with a flower in it, right? So I think, there's a lot of love there. And it also does say that the possibility exists that somebody from the past could be coming back. Let's get a card for the Two of Swords. You need to make a decision, and this is talking about you going inside using your intuition to make this decision. Okay, you have the King of Cups. And right next to it, you also have going inside and using your intuition to find answers to questions that you have. Okay. The King of Cups clarifying the Two of Swords. The King of Cups, of course, is a master because he's a king, but he's also totally in control of his emotions. He feels them all, but he does not let them control him. He controls them. He feels them, but he will not let them take over. Okay? And that's clarifying the Two of Swords. So, this reading's a little on the deep side, maybe. Okay? So, you have to make a decision. And here it talks about being in control of your emotions. Over here, your sacral chakra, one of the things it has to do with is emotions. And it's clarified by the Emperor, which is about using logic. Okay? And your overall energy is out of the Emperor. So you see where there's this kind of interplay between the two. And over here, you have the Mouse Spirit, which talks about don't make big decisions. Just, keep it cool, keep it calm. Just do things you want to do. Maybe a little housework, a vacation, something like that. And it's clarified by a very caring, loving energy, which is emotions. So I would say at this time, you need to try to keep your emotions, for the most part, in check. It looks like there is going to be something where you are going to need to use your logic and organizational skills. It says it will increase your success. And you need to take charge of the situation, accept a leadership role, structure and discipline. So this is really very different from this energy and this energy. So I would say just for a moment, and I would imagine you will know when. It might not be the whole week, it might just be a moment where you need to put the logical side of you in the forefront and the emotional side of you behind that, just for a moment, okay? Let's talk about the sacral chakra. It talks about expressing yourself and nurturing yourself. And it says also, remember that you do matter. Yes, of course you matter. matter tremendously. But I don't think that's what this is talking about. But I think this is talking about, say, potentially you've applied for a job and they're sending you an offer and you need to contact them to discuss this offer, right? You want to use logic and professionalism and put the emotions on the back burner for a moment. That's the kind of feeling I'm getting from this, okay? That it's not this whole time, but that there might be times throughout this week where you really need this in the forefront and this on the back burner, okay? The emotions. And here you have the Emperor clarifying it, so that even reinforces that more to me. Now here, yeah, it's saying, don't make big decisions. And you have the card Nostalgia, which is filled with emotions. So what I'm thinking this is saying is, if you have to make an important decision, like career, for example, because I think this is very career related. It doesn't have to be, but it looks like it. If you do have to make decisions, then don't use this, okay? Let the emotions just pitter-putter around and, keep those on the personal side, all right? Let the logical side come out for this decision-making time or whatever it is that you're going through. Here, the round and round. See the big picture. Understand when it's time to use the logic and when it's time for the emotions, okay? Because both have their place. You have to have a balance, right? But there are times where the emotional side definitely should be in the forefront. There's other times where the logical side should. And when you're talking about careers and interviews and raises and things like that, yeah, it's time to put your professional side forward. And to me, that's the feeling I get with this. And over here, you have a decision to make. And it's being clarified by the King of Cups, who, is all about the love. But he is in control of his emotions. He does not let them control him, right? So to me, that just backs this up some more even. Okay. So, let's get a card for the Nine of Wands. See what that says. Because that says, okay, right now it's a time where you're feeling like you need to defend or protect. And that is not a bad card. It depends on what it's about, the other cards with it, etc. And I don't see any bad cards here at all. I do see cards that are saying something definite to you. Nine of Pentacles. Okay. This is saying that you are going to be very happy and content with your abundance. So maybe this is saying, be on guard, during this time when you are really to put the logical side forward. Make for sure that you do. And if you do, the outcome is that you will be very happy and content with your abundance. Okay? But this does say be your authentic self, and do be your authentic self. Which, it might sound counter to what I just said, and I don't mean it in that way at all. What I'm saying is, yeah, be your real self. Just do not let your emotions rule you during whatever time this week or this time frame when you need to have the logic side come forward. Okay? Yeah. Okay. I hope this makes sense. At the bottom, you have the Six of Wands, which says victory. Okay? You see here, this is definitely an emotional card. It's full of love and happiness and joy. Here is one being your authentic self. Here's one of being protective. Here's one of celebration. Okay? Let's take a look here. You have the King of Wands, very charismatic, ambitious, very social. But he's a king, and he is social for a reason, and he's charismatic for a reason, right? Here you have a goal. Be your authentic self to achieve this goal. Here you're protecting something. You know where you want to go. You're just trying to figure out how to get there. You are putting yourself in hangman mode, which is isolation, using your intuition to find the answers that you're seeking. And here, it's different, but it's going inside and using your intuition because you have a decision you need to make, which is clarified by the King of Cups, who's all about the love, but they're in control of their emotions. Yeah. See the bigger picture. Okay, this is what I'm getting from this. See the bigger picture. There's going to come a time during this time frame where you need to use your logic. You need to put your emotions down just for a moment and deal with whatever this is. And then when you're done with whatever it is, your emotions are still going to be right here waiting for you. Okay? And if you handle this correctly, it will be time to celebrate, and it will bring in abundance. Okay? Hope that made sense. Because to me, this is kind of deep, but it's definitely pinpointed, and to me, it really looks like it's career-oriented, but it does not have to be. Okay. Let's get some cards from the universe. This was pretty fascinating to me because I definitely can see the emotion here. Like this is emotion, this is emotion. And this is emotion under control. But I also see definitely must take charge, take a leadership role. And even, your sacral chakra is about the emotions and creativity and such. But right there's that emperor, here they are together. So I'm sure it's saying there's going to come a time when you need to be in control of your emotions and put your leadership, logical self forward. Okay? And then it's saying you've reached your first milestone, so now you can take a break and quit worrying, stressing, dealing with all of this. Take a vacation, maybe. Do something you enjoy. Okay, this is talking about you're planting seeds, and they're using this garden as a way to explain this. You're planting seeds, and you're being patient, and you're waiting, and you're tending to it, doing what you need to do. So in time, you will have this big, beautiful, fruitful garden. Okay? And to me, this really relates to that a lot. Okay, this is the very same card as this. So it's saying you do need, oh, and look at the bottom of the deck. Same card as this. This is saying, the universe is saying, yes, you do need to watch out, make for sure that you are on top of this. And I think what this is saying is, yes, this is important. You have a decision to make, and you need to be in control of your emotions during this time. It could be 5 minutes worth. It could be, days. I get a feeling it's only a short period of time, but that it is something that is going to have a big effect on your life. Okay? Maybe only short term, but it's going to affect you. Okay? And it looks like, to me, is an extremely positive thing. But I can tell you, at least for me, that to put my emotions down and just use the logical self is a challenge. So, I do think, you being a Taurus, you do it better than I would. But yeah, anyway, I do think that's what this is saying. Okay? So it looks like it's really targeted towards one moment in time, but it must be an important moment. Yeah? Okay, let's get a term. This is like the universe. It's representing the universe. It's a planet, of course. And to me, this is saying, this is yours if you want it. Okay? It's there for you. So to me, that is, big, important, potentially life-changing. Okay? Yeah, nothing like putting a little stress here. Not in a negative way. I don't feel anything negative with this at all. Like I said, the example I used is more like what I think it is. Something that has to do with, say, like a job interview where you're buying a house and you're meeting with a banker. Something like that. That is where you want to put your emotions in your pocket and put the professional self forward. That's kind of the impression I'm getting from this, okay? I hope this helps, and I hope you have a wonderful week. Much love. Bye.